Jeff Keith, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Jay. How are you doing?
Fantastic, man. So nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Hey, I appreciate your time as well, buddy.
You know, I've seen you on different interviews. You know, I want to just let you know on this show, you could do whatever you want. We smoke, spit, you know, swear, drink, the whole 9 yards. So you can do whatever you want here.
Well, I appreciate that, Jay, but hey, back in the day when I used to do that, I didn't stop a week down the road and stuff. So, hey, but I appreciate that. I can say, well, I'll be goddamn hell fucking shit fire.
Yeah, for hell yeah. Hell yeah, like a boy from Texarkana that you are, right?
That's right, that's right.
You guys been around, you know, because I am actually a huge fan of your band. This is not just another, you know, interview. I am a huge fan of your band right from the door. When your first album, Mechanical Resonance, came out, I was all over it. And in fact, I saw you open for David Lee Roth in the Meadowlands Arena. As I remember, somebody had canceled, whoever was supposed to open, this was his very first tour after he left Van Halen. Whoever was supposed to open canceled, and you guys got the gig. And I was like, I know who this guy is. You know, I was hearing Little Susie and Modern Day Cowboy on the radio back in New Jersey. And so you guys came out and you killed, and I never forget, at one point, you yelled out to the crowd, "What a chance!" because you knew this was a huge break playing in an arena. You guys were a new band.
Dude, we went from a club band to making a record to going out with David Lee Roth on Eat 'Em and Smile.
Yeah.
We were ecstatic. We were just like, wow, how great. It doesn't get any better than that.
No.
I still got all the hotel room keys somewhere in some box up in the rafters that I kept. Actually, when you actually got a key back in those days, from every hotel room, and that was to sit there and watch every night and watch one of the greatest frontmans there ever was, as far as I'm concerned. And what an opportunity! And I mean, it was just like mind blowing, but it was also what a great opportunity, what a great chance, you know. So
yeah,
how lucky can we be?
Yeah, and you yelled that from the stage, and I will never forget it. And I felt so happy for you guys. I was like, good, I love this band. I'm glad they're out here. So, yeah, it was so cool. Now, even though those were the singles, and I'm going to bang through this real quick, I want to tell you my favorite song off that album, Getting Better.
Hey, it's one of my favorites, too.
Then your next album, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, 1989, The Great Radio Controversy. Hands down, my favorite song off of that, Heaven's Trail, No Way Out. Love that song.
Love it, too, and we play it every night if we have the time.
1991, Psychotic Supper. Call It What You Want. Love that song. Another great song.
Love it, too. And right from the start, put this in your pipe and smoke it!
Yes!
That was one of the funnest records to make. Because we were just...
let's see, then 94, Bust a Nut and Mama's Fool. Love Mama's Fool.
Love it too, man. It's one of my favorites. I love all the records, but you're hitting them right on the mark for me as well, Jay. I love those songs like nothing else. And then there's a lot of songs on those records that aren't hits and aren't played a lot, but you know, are some of my favorites too. You know?
Yeah, and your hits are great. I mean, you guys have never made a bad album. Now, I know you guys kind of, you know, took a break. I hate to use the word broke up there for a while. But when you came back in 2004 with Into the Now, you guys just came back ripping. And the title track is my favorite off of that one.
Yes, Into the Now, that we wrote it, recorded it, produced it ourselves, and I'll tell you, that's one of my favorites too. And you know, so what we knew we had to do was always stick to our roots, be who we are, and that's why we titled it Into the Now, because we're from the '80s,
right? From
the hair band days, and we were just stepping into the now, which was a whole different industry and stuff. And you know, we stuck to our roots. It didn't do nothing with sales and everything, but it sure came from the heart, and it's one of my favorite records. But the numbers on the charts, it didn't even make the charts. So
You know, and you talk about that hairband thing, and I know that you've heard this before, but I play you a lot on my show. I play Tesla a lot, and I have always preached this for years. I said, listen, Tesla was never a hairband. They just happened to get big in that era, and I preached that up and down. I said, you know, they were jeans and T-shirts. You know, you didn't see makeup and all this stuff. They were a solid, straight-up rock band, but unfortunately, there are people that lump you in with all that stuff. And I'm not saying all that stuff is bad. I mean, I certainly have my favorite bands from that era. But I tell people that all the time. I was like, you know, man.
Well, we were always told to play songs from the heart because, you know, a lot of bands never make it. And that way, at least if you do make, you know, don't make it, you're still playing songs that you feel in the heart. And then if you do make it, you're going to have to play them night after night. So maybe the first Modern Day Cowboy, maybe the second video, we might have had a little hairspray in our hair, but we got talked into that.
Mm-hmm.
So we never relied on looks, or we just relied on writing songs from the heart, and that's what we've always been. And, you know, we come out in that era, and we're always put in that category, but we always played from the heart. And that's, you know, that's why when we made, like, the first five-man acoustical jam,
yeah,
it was all real, and that's, I think, what people love the most about it is that it was all real, good or bad. Don't re-record things. Just straight up push record from the start to the finish, and that's what we did, and that's what people appreciated, and that's what we are. We're that kind of band that we are the real deal, good or bad. We sound good or bad, at least it's us, and it's no machines.
I am well aware. Yes, I am well aware. And, you know, another thing, too, is when a band does acoustic, and, you know, you guys have done, you know, a few acoustic albums. Obviously, Five-Man Acoustical Jam, you know, your biggest one with, you know, the cover of Signs, you know, brought you major attention. But when a band plays acoustically, that's how you can tell how good a band is.
Absolutely. You know, that's how we feel, too. If you could play a song with an acoustic guitar and no amplifiers or anything, that really, you know, tells you how the song, you know, how good the song really is, how solid it is. So when we did that acoustic record, we forgot about it for probably 3 months, and then me and Frank and Tommy went to some radio station and played Signs acoustically. Phones were ringing off the hook. Captain goes, "We got a whole night of this." Next thing you know, they're like, "Hey, let's release this whole thing and redo this, redo that." And we said, no, if it ain't live, we don't want to put it out. And so they were just like, the phones are ringing off the hook. So we said, it's either live or we're not going to put it out. And they told us that we're going to regret it. And it's our biggest selling record
you see?
to this day.
Yeah, you're going to regret it. Yeah, not so much.
No.
All right, now
live is live, you know. So
I couldn't agree more, and you guys are really, really good at that. Okay, let me just back up a little bit. And like I said, I know I got to move quick here because you're a very busy man.
Don't you worry about it, Jay.
Thanks, man. You're the best. All right, 2008, Forevermore. My favorite track, One Day at a Time.
One of my favorite ones is In a Hole,
which is also a good song.
But One Day at a Time, yes, that's a great song. Terry Thomas helped produce that record, and he helped us really bring out the best in us. And that was one song that he really helped us, you know, change it around from what the chorus tone was and stuff. But yes, we played that live, and that's a great song. It's a great record, and that's one that didn't sell very many, but it came from the heart. And Terry Thomas he was a great guy to work with also.
Now, in 2014, you came out with Simplicity, and I just thought you nailed that album. My favorite song on that, MP3, because I love how you just, you know, you came back to Into the Now, perfect title, And, like you said, because you came from the 80s and, when 2004, okay, into the now, with Simplicity, the song MP3, it's just dead on about, I come from the 70s. I miss having an album in my hands. I miss looking at, where did they record this? Who played on that? Who engineered it? All those sorts of things. And, MP3 is all about that for me, because it's like, now I'm buying it over the internet. I got no booklet. If I want information on it, I got to look it up. You nailed it on that song.
Yeah, you can't sit there and look at all the pictures and open it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I love that stuff too, Jada. And with today, it's, when you download something, they just give you some picture, and that's all you got to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm that kind of guy too. I like putting on the headphones and just looking at it and just like, wow, and looking at pictures and seeing, like you said, who produced it, who wrote it, I'm hearing you on that. I miss that stuff too, but that's, it's a whole different animal today.
It is, and I thought that, MP3 so summed that up. I mean, even the way the song starts, you actually hear the needle on the record.
Absolutely, yeah. From a record to an MP3.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, it's funny because they're video with their iPhone, their smartphones or whatever. And that's exactly what it's come to, rather than people there are people that don't do it. They're just taking it all in just live. And that's how I'm that kind of person too. But
you're talking to one of those people that does not get on their iPhone and shoot the band. I am there to see the band. No. And, quite frankly, I know there's going to be video all over, YouTube the next day, so I'll go watch it there. But when I am at the show, I don't want to watch it through a lens. I want to watch it.
Take it in, man. Take the moment in. Live in the moment. I'm that kind of guy, too. I'm that way, too. I love it. I love just taking it all in, and the only thing I got is the feeling that you feel in the moment, rather than to show somebody. But, that's the big step is to sensationalize something,
Yeah, it takes away from it. Man.
They're live right in front of you, and they're looking right through their phones or something, But hey, I'm like you, Jay. I like to take it in and breathe it in and out and live in the moment.
Right. I mean, I can get off the phone with you and go on YouTube and watch your videos. So if I'm going to your show, I'm going to watch you. I don't want to watch, I don't want to sit there and take the time. And I shut my phone off when I go in, because I don't want to be bothered by anything when I go.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got all the time in the world to go listen to it on your phone or a video or something, but you can't take that moment. You got to breathe it in, breathe it out, live it.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you on
I
that.
got 2 hours to watch you, man, and that's it. I'm not going to be distracted for those 2 hours. I mean, I've seen you guys multiple times over the years.
I'm right there with you, Jay. Well, hey, that's you're a true fan, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. I definitely
I'm the same way. When I can watch like Def Leppard or David Lee Roth, anybody that we've ever played with all night long, and because of just the vibe and the full circle feeling that you get at a concert. That's what I take to heart, is the whole vibe, rather than, oh, look what I got. Here's where I was, and here's what I did. I'm not like that. I like to just, only memories I got. I don't have a photograph of it or video of it, but I lived it.
Now, any plans for new Tesla in the future? Studio album Tesla?
Yes, we have been working on a record with Phil Collen.
Nice, from Def Leppards. Yeah, who's produced you before, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And it's awesome, man. He's just an awesome person, an awesome artist, and a great producer. And we feel that he got the best out of us, and more than we even knew we had. That's what a good producer does. And we just had a blast doing it. There's still being some touch-up parts, but really excited to release that I think the first of next year.
I can't wait.
And excited to play some of the songs, and I think the people are really going to love it. And if they don't, I can honestly say we love it.
And that's all that matters, They always say if you you start playing for other people, you lose it.
Exactly. It's like the second record you always hear about, the sophomore jinx.
Yes,
We didn't sweat all that stuff. Just write songs from the heart, and if it works on the charts or whatever, then it works. And if it don't, at least you got what you feel is a great song from the heart. So it's we're looking forward to be releasing that, and Phil Collen was a great guy to work with, and we're feeling great.
Is there a working title for that album?
You know, we always wait to title something, but even like songs, when we're writing songs, we'll wait till the end of the song sometimes to title it. So, not sure what the title is yet. I know no matter what, call it what you want. Like you said, that's what that song's all about. Call it what you want, however you want it. Whatever the title may be, whatever the kind of type of music it may be, as long as it's from the heart. And I'm not sure what the title is. I'm the kind of guy, they still just hand me the microphone, Jay, and say, over there to that stage. So I don't know some things that I probably should know, but from what I understand, I don't think we've titled it yet, but it's a great record. I know that.
I can't wait, and I'm happy to hear it because I said, when I talked to Jeff, I got to ask him, and I really do hope that they're putting out, a new album, because so many bands today don't bother because, I'm sure you hear this too, well, nobody buys music anymore. And it's like, well, I still want to hear new music. I want to hear your old stuff, but I still want you to make new music.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we love the, songwriting. We don't worry about how many it's going to sell or anything. We just love writing songs. And instead of getting in that, what you're talking about, like some bands will just say, oh, we'll just play off the songs from back then. We like to write. So we're going to continue to keep making records. Good,
because you have
like you, Jay, will love it.
Yeah, because Tesla has an amazing catalog, and I know I, for one, and a lot of people would like to see that continue. There's another record I want to talk to you about, because this, again, proves what a great band that Tesla is. In 2007, when you guys did Reel to Reel, 2 CDs full of cover songs, too many artists to name that you covered, but you smoked every one of those songs.
Well, we meant to do just one disc, but it ended up being 2 discs. And in honesty, we could have recorded enough for 4 set, But those are all songs that we grew up on, cut our teeth on, and it was awesome to record those. And we just had a blast doing it. And it was also our first opportunity to go into the studio with Dave Rude. He's just a perfect fit for the band, but to do Reel to Reel was so much fun. There's so many to choose from. It was like when you want to do, like, say, a Led Zeppelin song, it's like, what song do you choose? There's so many great songs. The Beatles, Stones.
Yeah, like, you covered everybody on there.
Yeah, the
Aerosmith, Deep Purple, Bachman Turner Overdrive, UFO.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. And I got to tell you, I am a hardcore Aerosmith fan from, back in the day. And I said, Seasons of Wither. Well, let's see what they can do here, as a hardcore Aerosmith fan. And man, you guys smoked it. You did it justice. And let me tell you one more. When you did the Frampton song, Do You Feel Like We Do? Dead on. And I'll tell you a funny story. I mean, that's a long song. But when that album came out, it was always in my CD player, in my car, in my house. And my boys were little at the time. And when we would pull in, we got to stop at the store. If I played that song, because they would always ask to hear it, they refused to get out of the car and go into the store until the song was over.
Once you start it, man, you can't stop.
Right. And you know what? I had no problem with it, even if I was in a hurry, because, those are moments you can't take back with your kids. And I'm like, you know what? If it means that much to them, and I love it too, but, it'd be so funny because especially the voice box thing, they were like, no, Dad, wait till the song is over. Wait till the song is over. They loved it. They loved it, man.
That's great, Jay. I love it. It takes me back to the 8-track tape days, man.
Yeah, right.
And, oh, yeah. I mean, we used to pass around 8-track tapes and didn't know what Peter Frampton looked like, but we sure knew that we loved, what he was playing, his music. Robin Char. I mean, it goes on and on.
But, you know, a band that can cover that many songs and nail every one of them, much like when I talked about how you can nail stuff acoustically, again proves what a great rock band Tesla is.
Well, thanks, Jay. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's, like I said, that's how we feel, is if you can break it down acoustically and play it, you know, it's honest, simple, and there's nothing like loud amplifiers to rely on, and that's what we feel makes a great song. And on the reel to reel, there was so many to choose from, like I said, but it was just fun just recording those songs because, you know, they were just such a part of us and stuff, you know. So
yeah. Now let me talk to you about touring a little bit. You know, I was checking back, and it seems like you guys basically have not been off the road since easily 2010. I mean, I'm sure you come off the road to record or holidays and take breaks, but Tesla is forever on the road. Either you're out with Poison, you've been out with Styx, Def Leppard, REO Speedwagon, Scorpions. You guys are constantly on the road. It's like you and Cheap Trick are two of the hardest working bands I have ever seen.
Well, hey, we feel we're fortunate to be, you know, out there and playing that much, but you just get taken home whenever you get the chance, and whatever breaks we got. We haven't had that many. As a matter of fact, this last break we've been on is a month. So, you know, that's the longest one we've had in probably 3-4 years. So we just, and like you said, whenever we come home, we're recording and stuff. So we're always working. That's what we are. We know we're just a hard-working, blue-collar rock and roll band.
That's what I love about you guys, man. That is so what I love about you.
It's great to have the demand to be out there, but it's also not as glamorous as people think. But that time on stage, that's what it's all about.
Yep, and that's what everybody says. You know? Yeah, I mean, I was looking at your upcoming tour, which I'll get to in a second, and then, you know, it said, you know, past events, and I looked back, and I just kept going back and back and back, and finally in 2010 I stopped. I said, these guys have basically been on the road for the last, you know, 7 years easily, if not before that. So you definitely work hard. But now you got a new tour. You will be at the Paramount Theater here in New York, which I will be at that show. I bought a ticket as soon as that went on sale, before I even knew I was going to get an interview with you.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Hey, listen, Jay, we're going to have to get you a pass so you can come out and hang out with us, too.
You know what? I would be honored, Jeff.
Absolutely. We'll get you in there so we can hang out.
I would love that. All right, before I let you go, because I know you're busy, what I found really cool is you're doing, you know, you got a bunch of shows here in the States with rarely a night off, but I do want to ask you about these upcoming Florida shows. Do you know the status of that? You have a show booked in Fort Lauderdale, you have a show booked in Clearwater. As of now, are those shows still on because of the hurricane?
You know, I know they're still on. They're still on the list, but man, I have no idea with all that devastation down there and stuff. I'm hoping that things will be, you know, in a lot better shape by the time we get down there, but I'm not sure about that. Boy, it's heartbreaking.
It really is.
It's the devastation.
Yes.
So I have no idea, but I'm hoping that if we do make it down there and we're able to maybe make some shirts and sell them. We've been known to do that kind of stuff to help. You know, but they really got hit hard.
They did. It's extremely sad.
I'm hoping we get to make it down there, but.
Well, you know what? And if you make it down there, you're certainly going to bring a huge breath of fresh air to those people. But after your American tour finishes up, I see you're going over to South America with Deep Purple and Lynyrd Skynyrd. In fact, two of the bands that you actually covered on Reel to Reel. That's got to be great.
Oh, man, are you kidding me? It's going to be our first time to go to South America.
Really? Tesla's never been there before?
You've never been there before.
Wow.
No, it's going to be our first time. And in November, we're going to Mexico for the first time, Monterrey, Mexico. And going to be playing with Def Leppards, Aerosmith,
Aerosmith. Oh, I know all
Super
about
bunch.
it. It's
Oh,
you guys,
yeah.
Def Leppard,
Okay.
Aerosmith, Tyler Bryant, Vince Neil. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're really looking forward
Isn't
to
that
that.
the
And
mother of all festival?
I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Jeff, I'm going to let you go because I know you're a busy man. You gave me a lot of time. I'm just so psyched up to talk to you and get this stuff in, these
Hey,
questions.
no worries, Jay. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're an honest fan and genuine. I appreciate that. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you on the 20th, is it?
Yes, it is. This was a huge pleasure. I'm going to let you go. Jody said you got 15 minutes, and that's why I was rushing. And then you said, hey, take your time. And I'm looking down at my clock here. It's been about 34 minutes, so I don't want to push my luck.
That's all right, Jay, because you were the last one. I appreciate that.
I like being the last just for that reason. When she gave me the slots, I purposely took the last slot.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, I look forward to seeing you on the 20th.
Okay, Jeff Keith from Tesla.
Yeah, so, mate.
And say hi to the rest of the band for me, man. I will see you next week. Thank you so very, very much for doing this.
Thank you, too, Jake. Appreciate your time.
All right, Jeff. See you next week, man. Bye.
All right, buddy. Hey, we'll see you on the 20th.
Cool.